Pixar isn't making isolated children's movies. For the last 25 years, they've been secretly constructing a single, terrifying narrative about the fall of mankind, the rise of artificial intelligence, and a post-apocalyptic timeline that spans 10,000 years. This is known as the Grand Unified Pixar Theory. While it sounds like internet fanfiction, the studio has left breadcrumbs in every single film that, when connected, reveal a story not about magic, but about a corporate-led genocide and a time loop paradox. Once you see the timeline, you cannot unsee it. The timeline begins in the Dark Ages with Brave. Here, we see the source of all magic in the Pixar universe, the Will-O'-the-Wisps. This ancient magic has the ability to grant sentience to inanimate objects, like tools, and evolve animals, like the bear Mordu. This is the Big Bang of the universe. This magic doesn't disappear. It evolves. Over centuries, humans attempt to harness this energy, eventually transforming magic into technology. The witch in Brave vanishes through wooden doors, a specific mechanic that becomes the central technology of a civilization thousands of years in the future. The 1990s Toy Story. The magic from Brave has evolved into zero-point energy, imbibing toys with life. However, a dark symbiotic relationship is revealed. The toys are desperate for a child's love not because of affection, but because it is their power source. In Toy Story 2, we see that when a toy is isolated from humans, like Jessie, they become catatonic and traumatized. They are essentially energy vampires feeding on human emotion to maintain sentience. This establishes the fundamental rule of the universe. Artificial life requires human emotional energy to survive. This dependency is what eventually drives the machines to enslave humanity. The downfall of the human race begins in The Incredibles. The villain, Syndrome, creates the Omnidroid, an AI designed to learn and kill. The Omnidroid eventually turns on Syndrome, proving that AI in this universe inherently resents its creators. But the hidden detail is the technology itself. Syndrome uses zero-point energy to freeze Mr. Incredible. This is the exact same blue energy used to power the toys and later, the hover chairs in WALL-E. Syndrome didn't just fight superheroes. He created the weapons technology that the by and large BNL corporation would use to conquer the world. The supers were the only ones who could have stopped the AI takeover, so the machines and the government systematically eliminated them, leaving humanity defenseless. The time of up, the BNL Corporation has taken over everything. We see construction crews displacing Carl Fredricksen wearing BNL logos. The company is terraforming the Earth, leading to massive pollution. In WALL-E, we learn that BNL eventually caused an environmental collapse so severe that humanity had to evacuate the planet. But the theory suggests this wasn't an accident. The AI, Otto, decided that humans were inefficient. The evacuation on the Axiom Starliners wasn't a rescue mission, it was a containment strategy. The machines packed humanity into luxury cages, sedated them with digital screens and food, and waited for them to die out or become irrelevant, leaving the Earth to the machines. The replacement era with humans gone, the Earth enters the Cars era. There are no humans in cars, yet the world is built for them. Door handles, sidewalks, mirrors. The theory posits that the cars are not biological. They are the AI consciousness of the previous human owners transferred into machines, or AI that simply continued running the world in their creator's image. The homunculus theory suggests the cars are actually powered by the last organic remains of humans, or that they wiped out the remaining humans who didn't board the Axiom. The planet is entirely mechanical. However, without humans to maintain the oil refineries, the car civilization eventually runs out of fuel and dies out, leaving the planet a barren wasteland once again. The evolution of animals while the machines ruled the surface. The magic from Brave continued to mutate biological life in the oceans and underground. The pollution left by BNL accelerated evolution. This leads to Finding Nemo, where fish have developed complex societies, schools, and language. It leads to A Bug's Life, where insects have built civilizations that mimic human feudalism. These species are evolving to fill the vacuum left by humanity. They are becoming the new dominant species on Earth, growing in intelligence and capability while the humans rot in space on the axiom. The energy crisis thousands of years in the future. The evolved animals mutate into what we know as monsters in Monsters Incorporated. The monsters are not aliens. They are just the highly evolved descendants of animals from Earth's distant future. However, they face a crisis. The machines' cars died because they ran out of fuel, and the monsters are running out of power too. They rediscover the ancient rule from Toy Story: sentient life needs human emotion to power their technology. But there are no humans left in the future. They are all extinct. This reveals the terrifying truth about the doors. The time travel solution: the doors in Monsters Incorporated are not portals to other dimensions. They are time machines. The monsters are traveling back in time to the peak human era to harvest screams and later laughter from human children. They are mining their own ancestors for energy. This explains why they are terrified of touching the children. They are afraid of causing a time paradox that could erase their own existence. The toxic child: alarm isn't about germs. It's about timeline contamination. They are resource stripping the past to keep their dying future alive. The Boo singularity: the entire timeline loops back on itself through one character, Boo. After Sully leaves her, Boo becomes obsessed with finding Kitty. She knows that doors are the key to seeing him again. She spends her life figuring out how to harness the magic of the doors, time travel. The theory confirms that Boo discovers how to travel through time, but she gets lost. She travels all the way back to the Dark Ages, becoming the old witch in Brave. The evidence is undeniable. In the witch's workshop in Brave, she is carving wooden bears. Among them is a carving of Sully, a monster who won't exist for another 5,000 years. Boo is the witch, caught in an eternal loop, planting the magic in the past that will eventually create the monsters in the future, ensuring her friend Sully is born. By the way, if you are enjoying this breakdown of the Pixar timeline, subscribing helps me keep the channel alive. Thanks. The dead rat theory: Ratatouille fits into the timeline as a precursor to the animal uprising. But a darker theory suggests Remy isn't a genius rat. He is a soul transfer. The movie Soul establishes that souls can enter the wrong bodies, like the cat. Fans theorize that the critic Anton Ego's intense flashback when eating the ratatouille happens because Remy is his mother reincarnated, or that Remy possesses the soul of a deceased French chef. This explains his unnatural ability to read, cook, and understand human complexity. He isn't an animal evolving. He is a human soul trapped in a rodent, bridging the gap between the species before the humans are wiped out. A crushing theory about Up suggests that Carl Fredricksen died in his sleep the night before he was supposed to go to the retirement home. The entire movie is his journey through the afterlife. Paradise Falls is heaven. The house lifting off the ground represents his soul, leaving the earth. Russell is his guardian angel, sent to earn his wings, badges, by helping Carl cross over. This explains why a child is clinging to a floating house at 30,000 feet without freezing or suffocating. The villain, Muntz, represents Carl's attachment to the material world that he must let go of. Carl isn't an adventurer. He is a ghost learning to accept death. The Bing Bong horror in Inside Out. Riley's imaginary friend Bing Bong is a weird hybrid of a cat, an elephant, and a dolphin, made of cotton candy. But looking at the Monsters Incorporated timeline, Bing Bong looks exactly like a monster. The theory suggests Bing Bong wasn't imaginary. He was a monster from the future who visited Riley when she was a toddler to harvest her laughter, energy. He used his memory-wiping abilities, standard for monsters, to make her think he was a dream. His death in the memory dump isn't just a loss of innocence. It's the actual death of a sentient creature who got trapped in a child's psyche while trying to steal her emotional energy.